Hi, welcome to True Crime Private Eye, where intuition meets investigation. My name is Miriam. I'm a psychic medium, and welcome Savannah Harvey, private investigator, intelligence research, and human advancement founder of Crown Mass, and an Air Force veteran. We have Denise, of course, backstage helping out with the comments and the questions, so we can hopefully get to everyone tonight. Tonight, we're going for a deep dive into True Crime Night, and I will be looking at the Kurt Sova case, the Zodiac Killer. If there is time, Timothy Pitson. If there's not time, we're going to go back and revisit Timothy's case in 2 weeks when we return. And we're also going to be discussing some of the struggles Savannah has been experiencing when dealing with families and authorities as a private investigator. She's going to share with us some of her concerns, and I'm going to see if I can intuitively tap in and assist. To join our Patreon community, please scan the QR code. Upcoming cases for YouTube and Patreon are the Idaho 4. We're finally tackling that. Jason Landry, Timothy Cunningham, and a lot more. And make sure to join myself and Denise Monday night for Pop Therapy and True Crime Files. Savannah, how are you?
Hey, great. How are you?
I'm good. We were late because we were both having technical issues, but we're here. And
Yes.
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
God. Okay, Savannah's decided she's going to be 80s retro. We could not get the lighting to fix, so put on your sunglasses.
Right? A little nostalgia.
A little nostalgia. Absolutely will be very nostalgic. Okay, so we've got a lot of interesting stuff going on tonight. Why don't we start, Savannah, with some of the struggles you've been having? I want to find out what those challenges are, what that looks like for you, and how I can help.
Right. So when you are dealing with crime, criminals, cases, and all the emotions that come along with that for such a long time, you recognize patterns, right?
Mhm.
And a huge pattern that always without fail comes up is a few key things. The first one is lack of communication and response from a victim's family and or their friends. And this is understandable if it's a legal issue, if it's a kind of an open case and no one can say anything type of issue. But definitely ran into this even with cold cases, even with basic information. And it's almost like there's a lot of hesitation to participate with someone who is trying to find a missing relative or whatever the case may be. And I don't really quite understand the unwillingness to participate in someone who is really trying to help you, even if it's pro bono work. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
What's a sample case? Like, can you give us sort of an example? Is there a specific case you've been struggling with recently?
Definitely the case that stands out to me is Caitlin Atkins, or Akins rather. This is a case that I have been looking into for about 4 years. And before they arrested the stepfather on previous other charges. And, I've reached out to siblings, friends, parents, on every social media platform. I've asked for messages to be passed along to certain people. And the only one that responded to me was Caitlin's ex-girlfriend. And she just would relay a message to Caitlin's mother. But also on the law enforcement side, I had 1 out of the 3 detectives that were assigned to that case over the years even acknowledge my emails or respond to me at all. And I'm sure they have personal reasons for that. But even I emailed and said, "Hey, I have a tip for you. I think I know where she is." We've been physically looking for her, like boots on the ground, searching for her, as you know, with your help before. Um, can you reach out to me, email, call, text, anything? 'Cause I want to tell you what I know. Absolutely no response. And that's through emails, voicemails, messages left at the front desk, directly to them. It's really just, it's crazy to me. So we're just hanging.
So if we look specifically at Caitlin's case, it feels to me like there has been, how do I say it? Like a conscious conversation to keep everything in house, don't push this out, and don't address anything outside of our circle, because they have strict orders on what they can and can't do around this case, and that cannot and will not be shared. And from a perspective like you or I or someone outside thinking, none of this should matter. What should matter is, oh my gosh, can we find this person? In this case in particular, no. And that's, whether you call it politics or bribery or whatever's going on, something is going on, and it's and that you're not going to be able to get into that door. Now, you dug her up yourself. I think you may find that you might even come into some issues with that, where there's,
Right.
what are you doing? Who told you? That kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Right.
So, what something you and I talked about before is, at what point do you let go? At what point do you read the signs that what I'm being told is it's time to back off, versus I need to push through and persevere? And I feel like this is something we all face in life, in big and small ways, where we don't know if we're supposed to move forward in spite of the roadblocks, or if the roadblocks are telling us to stop and redirect. And for me, I feel like you're being told to stop and redirect,
Right.
because there isn't going to be any support. Even if you were to actually find her, I don't feel like you would receive support, and that it could get you in more trouble than not.
And that's so sad. And
Mhm.
I feel like that's pretty common in these situations, and it makes me wonder how many times someone may have called in to leave a tip who actually did know something and it was ignored
Mhm.
or not followed up on. Could Caitlin have
Mhm.
been found already years ago?
Mhm.
Could her stepfather have been arrested years ago?
Mhm.
Probably, because, it's a pattern of behavior, and
Mhm.
patterns of behavior, it's not just for people who commit crime, it's for
Mhm.
everybody. And
Mhm.
if detectives are ignoring tips and they're still looking for her, you know, those things aren't adding up. To me, it's just common sense to accept tips and follow up on them if they're credible. It just makes sense, but
But if their job is on the line,
mhm.
then they're going to follow orders.
Right. And that's a great example of so many things in other fields that happen that
Mhm.
absolutely delay progress and
And
hinder
I
results.
and I feel like this happens, like you said, in so many areas of life, which is why so many of these cases are cold cases. So many of these cases are unsolved, because they're being stopped purposely for whatever
Right.
reason. What's another case you're struggling with?
Um, let's see. Another one I'm struggling with is well, it's not a case per se. It's a mentality of um some clients withholding information,
Mm,
not telling the full story as to not make themselves look bad or
mm,
potentially put themselves in a situation to where they're being prosecuted for something. And I understand that, but it does come at the hindrance of finding a loved one. And that's the most common situation I've seen it in.
interesting.
Even if it's someone who didn't do it themselves, it's someone who, because of a lot of emotions,
Mm-hmm.
they would withhold information about their own suspicions of the perpetrator.
Mm,
Um, Especially when it comes to situations such as women protecting the men who hurt their children,
mm,
whether or not that leads to someone being unalived or just prolonged um, inappropriate situations.
mm-hmm.
Keep it PG for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That those things really sit on me, and it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then, kind of in the same realm of withholding information, witnesses being completely uncooperative,
Mm,
but not for a particular reason, just because they don't want to quote unquote get involved.
mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like we all kind of divide each other into categories and groups and have these invisible allegiances to our own groups of
Mm-hmm.
things and people, and but it's always at the sacrifice of getting justice for someone, getting, answers and closure.
Mm-hmm.
um but that's, those are the things that are really frustrating to me. And it's sort of like, if you know something that can solve a crime, say something. If you know something is happening that shouldn't be happening, say something to someone, right? Even if it's an anonymous tip to the police.
I think resistance with peer groups when their communication with any authority can be intense. Some are raised to be avoidant of those who ask questions. I
Mhm.
mean, I hear and agree with obviously what you're saying, but the amount of people that I have come across in my life that have said, I'm not getting involved, don't get involved, I don't get involved in stuff. The so many,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
many. And that's just in my own, when I was working corporate, the amount of times there would be a situation and I would be like, hey, this isn't right. This can't, and I'm told I'm not getting involved. I'm not saying anything. I'm just telling
Right.
you, but I don't want to have anything to do with it. It is more common than not. And even just recently, I spoke with a friend, and they were in a situation where Child Protective Services were going to be calling them because of a call they got. And they were like, well, my friend or my husband told me not to pick up the phone and just don't answer. And I was like, why? And
Right.
this is a person who is very level-headed. I was surprised they would say that. It's more common than not. So I can imagine in your field, it's constant.
Yes.
Evia Unfound has said the same thing. Yeah. Families not being fully transparent. And this is not something I personally can uncover myself, but there's experts out there that can. But the depth of what the patriarchy has done, and the patriarchy not just meaning men over women, not that, but the control and the fear that's instilled, and it's instilled from husband to wife,
Yeah.
that is so ingrained, that plays a huge role in protecting the man that is the abuser.
Absolutely.
I wonder if sometimes the spirit in the afterlife causes barriers on our side. I always felt that with John Bonet for a long time. She just didn't want to implicate her family. That is deep
Hmm.
and absolutely, absolutely could be. But what we're seeing then, if this is the case, is we're seeing that in this lifetime, that karma is not meant to be resolved, or that karma is meant to play out differently. I never felt JonBenet specifically was stuck or holding on. I felt her completely moved on to the other side, but that doesn't mean there can't still be that residual connection experience, fear-based reactions, and let someone else deal with it, which is why we have the bystander effect with crime.
Right.
It is just prevalent.
And now people just pull out their phones and record versus trying to do something about it. Call the police or literally anything else,
But I mean, we're also in a time right now where speaking up is really the only option. We lost Savannah, but Savannah, you can still hear us, right?
I can hear you. I'll be
okay.
right
We
there.
can hear you. That's okay. Speaking up is really important right now, and it's scary, but we have to do it anyway. I had a parent who feared losing her job because of a child protective report I had to make, so she tried to change what she said. Isn't that fascinating, man? It's fascinating.
And it's sad, it's especially when someone's in a situation like that, right? Someone's allegiance is to their spouse rather than their children.
Right.
I think it baffles me how, you can just meet someone random and then fall in love with them, right? And then just everything is hinged on this person, your entire life, your kids' futures, your future. You would never turn them in, even if they were a serial unalived, and it's just it blows my mind, and especially when children are involved,
right?
Like Caitlin Atkins' case, for example, right? Her mom in this interview with I don't know, it was like in CNN or NBC or one of the major networks years ago, after Caitlin disappeared, she said, I would just go to James's driveway and sit there and just to let him know that I'm watching him. And I'm like, I don't know how you contain that. I would have probably gone much further if it was me.
Yeah.
Because your children are part of you. Literally a part of you, right? But there's so many situations, and it's definitely a huge patriarchal influence on it, and it's a matter of like you said earlier, right, kind of generational training. Let me be this way, but have myself trained so young to where I don't even know how programmed I am. And then instill that programming on my future family and partners and kids, and friends and family, because of, shame, societal shame, and societal unspoken expectations. And I don't know, maybe I have autism, but to me, it's all ridiculous. It's totally insane for people not to be able to think critically.
Well, I think, though, after understanding this and having this conversation, I think what matters next is that we have to get to a point to where that behavior does not surprise, does not shock,
right?
But instead you understand it for what it is. Because when you keep bumping up against why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? You're stuck. Now you're stuck. And you aren't doing your job. You aren't moving forward. And this applies to everybody out there. When we stay stuck in the why do they behave this way, we have to be there for a moment to work out the kinks and to understand, am I being shown this because I have to push through, or am I being shown this because I need to step away? But when we stop being in shock at people's behavior and instead understand this is the planet we live on, now what do I do? Universe, spirit, my connection, what do I do with this? Am I being shown this because I'm supposed to step away, or am I being shown this to do something different? And it's so important that all of us, no matter what field we're in, we stop being surprised by behavior. It takes a long time. And I'm not saying, like, for me, it's like with different people in my life, I can easily go, yeah, that's what they do. Okay. And then there's certain people that'll still get a little trigger and I'll have to work myself out. But either way, I understand being stuck in that trigger is not serving anyone or anything. And I'm not going to be able to resolve it if I'm stuck in the why are they doing that?
Right.
Okay. Who do you want to start with next?
Let's start with let's go over the Zodiac Killer. I think that'll take less time than Kurt Sova. Because I know you did a video on that a while back, and it was very, very thorough.
So we did. So if you guys didn't see our the Zodiac Killer is from a long time ago, but it's under, I don't believe it was a live true crime. I think it was a video, but it's in our library. So check that out. We got an email from one of our viewers, and she sent over some photos, and we were like, Savannah, tell us a little bit about what you thought when you saw the photos.
The photo I saw, it was a woman, and an unknown man. And if you give me a moment here, I can actually tell you what her name was. Do you happen to have her name in front of you?
So I have, let's see, is this man the Zodiac Killer or the Watcher, as a name by Harlow? That's something we talked about in our the original. Darlene Farron, is that the name you're looking for? The victim?
That's right. Yeah, that's her name. Her and this unknown man, who some people think might have the last name of Crabtree. Something about him in this photo is just really off-putting. She looks kind of like she's giving a compulsory smile for the picture. And he has his hand around the back of her neck, and he just looks like he's just sneaky. He just has this energy radiating off of him that is just like, I have a secret. I know something. Like, I'm going to smirk about it.
I'm going to show you guys this picture.
Really,
I don't think I can hold it up here too long because I don't know what the copyright issues are, but I'm going to show you guys real quick. And you can see. All right, I'm going to take that down again because I don't know what copyright issues are with that. Oh, here we go. And the man next to her, that was me. Oh, okay. Be better. I asked you, Danae. Is it Danae? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Darlene is a woman in the photo. Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay. Danae, confirm that I'm saying your name correctly. Now that I know your name, I know I get, like Savannah, we get so many emails. So you're just, sometimes they just all collide. So what we want to know, tell us a little bit about what we want to know tonight, Savannah.
So as far as the Zodiac Killer is concerned, we would love to know, who is the man? What is his relationship to her? We'll start with that one, and then we can go down the list of questions.
So when I did the read, I think we tapped into the Zodiac twice, because the first time we did a read on him, and then the second time there was chatter about the Zodiac and the Dahlia being connected somehow. Savannah's frozen. Did we lose her? She'll probably come back. Let me see. So when we were looking at that, what was really interesting is when we were looking at the, I'm going to remove Savannah. When we were looking at if there was a connection between the Zodiac and the Black Dahlia, we found that the Zodiac, you can communicate with him. Like, he's very, very like anxious and interested to communicate. The thing is of course he lies, and he'll just tell you all kinds of crazy stuff. So it was a really interesting read. And as I was tapping into him tonight, once again, this is someone who is not fully crossed over, ruthless in his approach even in the afterlife, like could care less about responsibility. He's really enjoying communicating with people in the afterlife. So I'm obviously not going to indulge him too much. I have a friend very interested in Zach, so must look at this. Yeah, definitely. But there is something about this photo. Would you guys not all agree that you look at that person's eyes and it is creepy? It is undeniably something is off. And for me, I feel hands down that is the killer. That is who it is. I saw that picture and I said, "Oh, where has this person been? Why has this person not been, like, was he cleared? Did people talk to him? Do you guys know?" I'm looking through the comments right now because I want to ask Danae, do you know, are they has this person been vetted? Has this person been, did back in the day, did they talk to him? Was there any connection that anyone made? Supposed name is James Philip Crabtree with army ties and pretty awful. Is that the one we did together? Yes, Denise, it is. What happened? If I remember, he was charming as all get out in spite of being a killer. Yeah. Yeah, and just really, excited to talk to people. So a part of, like, I remember when we did the read with him and with hold on, I want to see if we lost Savannah. With him, and it is her ex-husband. Okay. When there was, so what happened was they Chat GBT had tied together the Black Dahlia and the Zodiac, okay? And we decided to go, okay, was there really a connection? Which, no, there wasn't. There was no connection between the Black Dahlia and this person. So then we realized that the Zodiac who we were communicating with was actually capable of messing with ChatGPT and AI and having things say all kinds of crazy stuff, i.e., what came up was someone thinking or putting together, or ChatGPT saying these two were connected, and they weren't. Honestly, I don't know if law enforcement did it. It's a series on Reddit. I was asking Savannah if they interviewed this guy, if anyone at the time considered him a potential
demon possessed.
Like, I feel like this picture's floating around. How do we not know any? Can we find out? Was he interviewed? Did they consider him? How did he get off? So, like, how are we just now seeing this picture? And I'm like, that's him.
That's the Zodiac Killer in the picture with her?
Yeah. Like,
that's amazing.
How did this get, like, how did this not come up before, I guess, is my question. Like, what do we know about how he was protected and not considered a potential what's the word I'm looking for? Someone who potentially was the killer. I'm trying to look for a word other than killer, but how come he wasn't considered, was a perpetrator, or, like, what is the word I'm looking for?
Suspect.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, fuck, what's that word? How come he was never considered a suspect? Who knows that? That's what I want to know.
Interesting. I think he does match in the video I watched that you did previously on him. His physical stature does match what you described. It was toward the end of the video. Kind of 5'3", I think. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so we need to find out. Well, actually confirm his name, and then, kind of
yeah. Well,
place
you were
him in the area, right?
Well,
In
you
the
were
areas. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So while you were off, hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off. Someone said up here, it is Crabtree. They said that is his name.
Okay.
And wait, I'm just making sure. Did you guys say that was his name for sure? Anyway, we can go back and look. But I'm saying, and it sounds like people in the comments are saying that, yes, we believe that picture is him. I saw it and was like, this is him. How has this gone so long? So maybe if Savannah, you can do some follow up and find out, why was he let off? Why was he not a part of this investigation?
Mm-hmm.
What went on here? Then we can keep piecing this together a little bit better.
Right. I think it's very reasonable after all these years that we could identify him with your information and the process of elimination. And, even now, if someone related to him has submitted their DNA to Ancestry or 23andMe, the law enforcement can track those things. And I'm not sure if there was any DNA collected back in the day, but that's something I can definitely follow up on.
And police report. Danae is saying there's a police report on him. Okay. And it's interesting how Denise said that there was no determining who was, but there, I thought the whole point of the Zodiac was there was very little evidence in general with him.
There was, and then there was evidence that supposedly came from him, as you mentioned on your previous video, that actually wasn't him, which were the letters submitted to a newspaper, I believe, right? And a television station or something.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So when I did the original read, there was 2 men. I'll put the link to my first read in the description after this. You guys can go watch it.
It's a really good video. I've watched it 3 times. Just to get there's, it's just so packed of information. It's like someone watching him and Darlene and these little intricate things that you would never even have been able to identify, especially those letters not being from the actual Zodiac Killer whatsoever. So yeah, it's really parsing out false information. So I love that.
All right. Thank you, Danae, for submitting that. That was that's good. So I think really you can put some stuff together, and then maybe what you can do also is send me some timestamps of some of the stuff that I said, and I can link all that together and we can revisit this.
Sure.
And I can play for you guys what you felt stood out and any information you found that you thought was pertinent, and we can go from there. So let's move on to the next case.
So Kurt Sova.
Yes.
Age 17, October 23rd, 1981 in Newburgh Heights, Ohio. So he was at a Halloween party, went with a singular friend, to my knowledge, got really wasted, and then his friend said, "Stay out here. I'm going to go grab our jackets and we'll leave." Friend went back into the house to grab the jackets. He was only in there for a couple of minutes, reported, and then he came back out. Kurt was gone. Came up, found deceased a couple of days later in a ravine. So it is kind of a mysterious disappearance, because why would a 17-year-old high school student be targeted anyway? Was it a crime of opportunity, or was it premeditated?
Okay, really quick. The police report regarding the Zodiac, they did talk to him and did think he was involved. Okay.
Great.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull up photos and of Kurt. Okay, this is Pitson. Hold on, where's Kurt? Pitson. The mother was found at the Amy. That's different. Timothy, where's Kurt? Kurt with family and mother. So I did a short stitch on what I thought happened to Kurt, and should have prepped that, and I didn't think of it. I'm just looking at pictures that was sent, pictures of the family. One of the things that stood out to me when I did this original read, which is over on TikTok, and was that there were two men involved, and he was leaving a party, right? You said?
He was a Halloween party.
He was leaving a party. There were two men involved. They came up from behind. These men were really tall, like 6'3" is what kept coming to me for some reason, 6'3", and like trench coats, big jackets, long, and they are part of something. I want to say maybe some sort of government ties or something like that. And they went after him, and this is where it's getting fuzzy. Who was Kurt's father?
I can look up his name. Kurt's father was part of his life, but there's a picture of him in there as well.
But what did he do?
Let's see. He was a steel worker at a local plant in Cleveland, Ohio. In the 1980s. And then after, Kurt passed away, he became a victim advocate for other young people.
Okay. So then, okay, it's not him. There's a person, there is a man that I feel like he was on the police department that had this done. And the big question I'm asking right now is, did they mistaken Kurt for somebody else? Because I'm hearing that the father was somehow connected to something, let's just say for argument's sake, bad. Okay. But Kurt's father, that is not who I'm feeling. That is not the man they are talking about. So it's not Kurt's father that was involved with anything bad. Innocent. Kurt's mother, did she have an affair? Were they married?
Let me check.
And where was she through all of this?
Kenneth and Dorothy Sova were married. They lived together and they had 4 sons. Kurt was the youngest son. Let me try to find out where she was. See, she passed away in July 2001. There's not any information really about where she was during all this. It's assumed that she was home with Dad, She wasn't. It doesn't seem like she was very vocal. It seems like Kenneth, his dad, was much more vocal.
Okay, so there is somebody else. It is either a brother, an uncle, or they literally got the wrong family. But these are government type men going after someone for a specific reason and quieting them. And it is not Kurt's father. It is not Kurt. His mother was silent because of the trauma, didn't want to deal at all. The affair, there's an affair involved there. It's not Kurt's mom, but there's an affair. There's government officials, and it feels like a chief police officer at the time. What I'm feeling as I keep asking questions is they got the wrong guy.
So that makes me wonder if another young person went missing in that same area because they realized they got the wrong person. Surely they just wouldn't leave ties loose that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we'll have to look into.
So we don't know if another person went missing.
Right. But that is a really good... I can do a quick search and see if I can find anything quickly.
They unalived him immediately. 24 hours later, it was about 48 hours later, they brought his body out for people to find. So the investigation wasn't ongoing and didn't get messy.
Okay, so here's something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The body of Eugene Kvet, maybe Kvet, who actually Kurt knew, was found in another ravine on the same street 2.5 miles from where Kurt's body was discovered. Both the boys had been missing for a few days before they were unalived, and Eugene's right shoe, similar to Kurt's, was never found. That is wild.
Can you send me a picture of Eugene?
Yes, let me try to find one for you. Trying to see if there's a picture online of him. Okay, there is. Let me send this to you.
Okay, I'm coming out for a sec so I can find this.
Okay. I'm going to send it in about 10 seconds.
I'll go through comments while... What do we got here?
Okay, I just sent that to you.
Interesting question. Denise asks, organized crime within the union?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this picture of Eugene as soon as it comes through. Come on.
Okay, so Kurt's the Kurt incident happened October 1981, and Eugene happened February 1st, 1982. So matter of a few months.
Yeah, it was Eugene.
Okay. Wow.
So you'd want to do research on Eugene's father, mother. Is there any history of just who they are, where they're from, if there was ever adultery comes in. So whether that had anything to do with it or not, I don't know, but that comes up. So Kurt, it was a mistake. Wrong guy.
Right.
They
Wow.
were going after Eugene.
That's a great connection that was just made. That is something else. So that opens up a whole new branch of this situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who's Chief Mahoy?
Chief Mahoy. Let me see if I can find anything about Chief Mahoy.
Just so you guys know, we have more cases coming. We have the Idaho 4 coming June this month, the Monday the 22nd, I believe, with Denise and Jen. Scan the QR code for more cases. We've got Jason Landry coming for Patreon.
So Police Chief John Mahoy weighs in on the value of citizen detectives in solving Kurt Sova's unexplained unaliving. So I'll go and research and see if he was in office at that point in time. Because this article was 2020.
Is there a picture of him?
Let me see. There should be. Chief of police and all. Let's see. Okay, there. Yeah, it's a really very small, terrible picture, but I can send that to you anyway.
And so who is this Chief Mahoy? We're thinking he was the chief of police at the time that this happened?
I will. Let me send this to you, and then I can look and see if he was.
I have to say, Danae is when it comes to, she's on it, man. She's like this on the keyboard.
Let's go! Let's go, Danae. Woo!
Watching and commenting, and just like, don't mess with her, man.
Very nice.
Her and Elaine, both of them are just like, God, you guys are too smart for us.
He was not police chief in 1981.
Okay, so Danae, what makes you bring his name up? Give us more, baby. Give us more.
Around 2014, he became chief of police.
Yeah, I don't feel any connection with him. So is there, I mean, there tends to be like, you know, his son, his grandfather, his father. Is there I need to know more, Danae. Why him? We'll keep his picture and we'll see if he has any connection. So what we're going to do, we're going to be back in 2 weeks. We're going to put all the random pieces together that we put together tonight for the Zodiac. Finding out why was this guy let go, other than they couldn't put the pieces together. Who was he? I feel very strongly that that's him. Like, it's like so obvious. How was that missed? And then the Kurt Sova case, if there's more pieces to this puzzle, Savannah, of like, for me, this is just, they got the wrong guy. Let's learn more about Eugene. Why are we not hearing about Eugene's case? Why is Eugene's case not as big and loud as Kurt's case?
Absolutely.
We need to know all of this. Inquiring minds want to know. For anyone, Denise, I know you know what that line is. Anyone else our age know what that line is? So
we want to know.
We want to know. So we'll pull all that together, and then we're going to do, on top of that, we'll do the Timothy Pitskin case.
That's very interesting. I'm excited to look into that one.
Yes, me too. I sense there is a connection between the Dahlia Killer and the Zodiac. Yeah, Angelic. Oh, I was going to call you Angela. Sorry. We researched that, and I did not find any connection. What I did find was that the Zodiac Killer, we've said that word killer so many times, this video will probably be flagged.
What does it count if it's someone's name?
I know. What we did find was that the Zodiac messes with ChatGPT and is very much comes through intuitively. He's very much communicating with anyone who will listen. He lies. He's deceitful. He's all of these things. He loves the attention. And when things, no pun intended, die down for him, he rears things up. So connecting himself to the Dahlia Killer is a great way to do that. I'm not dismissing your intuition, as I would never dismiss anyone's intuition. But when it comes to interpretation with the Zodiac, that man will lie and lie and lie and lie. So we just have to be hyper aware of that. Let's see. Are you talking about Chief Mahoy was working on Kurt's working. Okay. Yes, Denise, that. Yes, Dahlia, what I got was the doctor. It was the doctor in the neighborhood. Then that doctor was just as disgusting as the Zodiac. So easy to put those two cases together for sure. Oh my. Kurt's middle.
Oh, hey, maybe that's why they got him mixed up.
What?
Wow.
First off, Danae, Big Kitty, you have met your match in speed typing. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I need to sit with that for a second. Oh.
I see a mic drop moment.
Oh.
Good job. Good catch.
First off, you are not highly annoying. Please do not ever say that. I love waking up to all of your comments. It's so fun. I have no idea what you yes, I'm highly annoying. No, you're not. And listen, if anyone's called you annoying, then you have found your people, because I am called annoying all the time. Yeah. I can't even try typing to you all. I believe that. Okay. I don't even know what to say about all of this, but wow. So Savannah's going to have fun. I almost want to come back next week. Oh, we can't. We have the psychic tea next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Lots to talk about. If we can hold on for 2 weeks. If we can't hold on for 2 weeks, we'll find another night. But
absolutely.
Savannah. Oh my God, I'm freaking the frick out.
That's exciting. What a great catch. The synchronicities are real.
This is why it's so fun to do these cases live.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you never know what's going to come up.
It always takes more than one person. Always. Okay. 2 weeks, unless Savannah's like, oh my God, I have to talk about this sooner. Then we'll let you guys know.
I have to tell you, I'm dying to get to the Timothy case, and there's a connection there that maybe or maybe not, but I don't know if 2 weeks can hold it. We might have to do it sooner.
Yeah, let me know. Did you see the stitch I did on Timothy?
I did. Yes, I did. And it makes me, I don't even want to say this.
Okay, don't say anything.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay, so stay tuned. We're excited. If we are going to come back sooner, we will absolutely let you all know. Otherwise, we've got Savannah's like, I got my work cut out for me. Okay, so you guys, when you do Idaho, I can give you names of those potential offenders. I watched over 200. Oh my, please. So we've got Elaine who sent over, I think, literally 9 pages.
That
So
item before
please,
is really, it's not the way they're saying it is. Not, definitely not.
the same here.
I don't think
the
so.
letters. The Black Dahlia, Unaliver, and the Zodiac. Okay, so what I also discovered about the Zodiac, thank you to Savannah reminding me, is that the Zodiac, well, we'll have to, okay, let's, Savannah, make a note of what Angelic McCormick is saying so we can add that to the list, because I don't, I'll never dismiss anybody. So there may be something there. Let's look at that for sure.
Okay.
George Hodel, was that the doctor? Because I said it was the doctor. And I did say there was 2 people involved in the Zodiac. Someone was writing the letters and sending out there was a watcher, that's Savannah. And then there was the Zodiac. So the Zodiac wasn't putting anything in writing, wasn't doing all the, whatever he did. That wasn't him. That was somebody else. So,
right. Maybe the Black Dahlia. I don't know the time frame of the Black Dahlia. Maybe it was the same person that was just bored, and agoraphobe in their house, writing letters on behalf of these heinous criminals.
Yeah. All right. Nice work tonight. Thank you, everybody in the comments. That was a blast. Yeah. This is why we do it. We're a community and we all do it together. This is why I love doing it. Sorry, that's all right. Okay, you guys. For those of you on Patreon, Paranormal Night is coming up right after this. Otherwise, we'll keep you posted on our next air date to revisit all this stuff. And then we'll be back Monday night for Pop Therapy. Have a good night, you guys.
Right. Bye.